Show you how to kind of quickly create a Pics of the Week segment. I'm giving you the introduction, the animated intro that says Pics of the Week. I'm giving you some music to use. It's maybe not the best music, but I just kind of picked it quickly. And then we have lots of images, and I grab them. People photo them and send them to me. The principal does a really good job weekly of getting those, so we have quite a few this week. But I wanted to give everybody a chance to learn how to make this segment and little tricks and tips to resize the images and um, um, change the duration of the photos because they're by default they're 5 seconds. So here we go. I'm going to make a new project. There it is. And I'm going to rename the project name instead of Untitled. I'm going to call it Guthrie Pics of Week. And then that's the project name. And it's going to go right here. So I can actually choose the location. And I will put it, let's see here. I have a folder, but I'll make a new folder. Okay, there it is. Okay, so I'm going to put the project file there. I like to do that so I know where it's going, and I renamed it. And then in the project file, there's a sequence name over here, and I'm going to change that. That's the timeline or the segment. The sequence is a timeline that we're going to create it. And then once you're all done, don't worry about all this. Just go to create. And there's different things you can do in Premiere Pro. So what you want to do is click on Windows, if you can see that, and go to Workspaces. And these are all the different things you can do. Most of the time you're in editing, but if you're changing, let's say you have a video that's dark, you'll go into color. And then if you're changing, you're making text or a title, you're going into caption and graphics. Now we already have an animated intro, and we don't really need any kind of titling done. So I'm going to go into editing, Window, Workspaces, Editing, and click that. Now we don't have anything imported. Here's our timeline here, and here's our import, what's called a bin, holding all the elements that we're bringing in to use in our timeline. So what I'm going to do is, I made a folder, and I will zip it. You're going to download it, and you're going to go File, Import. Now I made a folder, and again, you'll download the folder, double click it to open it up. It's a zip file, and then you'll import that folder that's inside the zip file. But for me, I'm going to go to Guthrie. I have it in Movies, and inside Pics of the Week, I have Pics of the Week chosen. Now you'll get this whole folder. Again, that's what it'll say in the zip file, Pics of the Week chosen. But I'm going to grab it and import it. And I like it because it brings in the whole folder. It's not as unorganized. So now to get into it, I double click it, and I have all the pics, but I also have the intro, and I have music. Okay? So I'm going to grab the intro, and the intro should be 1920 by 1080, but here it is right here. Okay? And there's audio on it, some. We're going to actually, it has audio for like the photo click and stuff, if you can see down here. But we'll add music, and we'll put music starting underneath this animated intro. So there's the animated intro. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go up all the way, and there's a couple different things I can do here. Let's see here. I can grab, what I did was instead of do that or that, which makes it kind of a challenge in a way, I can go to this list mode here, if you can see that. And all I want to do is click on the first photo and click on the, I think that's everything right there, yeah. Click on all of the photos, these images here. Not the Pics of the Week intro or Pics of the Week, all that, or the music, but just these image icons here. And I'll go to the last one, I believe, right? Hold the shift key down. Now I have all of them highlighted, and I can drag them, and I'll put them right past where my animated intro. And you'll notice that when I did that, it kind of clicks. There's like a magnet, and it all kind of looks for that ending, and they all go together. But notice now, if I grab this here, I can kind of go out. And each of these images are 5 seconds. So you'll notice it starts at, let's say 10 seconds or 20, and it goes all the way to 3 minutes and 12 seconds. So we have a lot of images today, which is great, and they're way too long. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a couple things all together. Now, I'm not going to highlight the animated intro. That's done right here. But I am going to zoom out enough so I can see all my images, kind of like that. And I'm going to take my mouse, and again, my selection tool, and I'm going to highlight all of the images. So I did not highlight the animated intro, but I highlighted all of the pink images. And I'm going to right-click. Now, you might have to use your control key to right-click, but you're looking for this long panel here with all this stuff you can do. And we're going to do a couple things. The first thing we're going to do is change the speed and duration. Speed and duration. And when I click that, before you do anything, again, each one is 4 seconds and 29 frames. Basically, 1 frame under 5 seconds. But the main thing you want to do is, if you see this little checkbox that says Ripple Edit Shifting Trailing Clips, you want to make sure that it's clicked. Because if you don't, it will create empty space when you change the duration of each of these images. So each of these images will have an empty space, and that's not what you want. So you check that box first. Then, if you'll notice, this is blue, and you can grab it with your mouse and move it down. And let's go, because we have a lot of pictures, let's go to 2 seconds and 15 frames, basically 2.5 seconds per image, okay? And I'm going to click, once again, make sure this checkbox and drag this down to 2 seconds and 15 frames or around there. And again, make sure that's checkbox, say OK, and instantly they are shortened with no empty space between them. Now notice on some of these that they don't fit the frame. They're either too small, see these are too small, or too big right here. Now how do you do that? So we're going to do that all at once, just like we did duration. I'm going to highlight them again. They were all highlighted, but I like to double check. So grab my selection tool and highlight just the images. And then I'm going to right click. Now again, you might have to hold the control key down to click for your what keyboard you have. But I'm going to scroll down here, and rather than duration right here, I'm going to keep scrolling down and look for scale to frame size. And the scale to frame size is going to make them fit our sequence frame, whatever size that is. It should be 1920 by 1080. So I'm going to click that, And see, that was too big and now it fits. And then some of these are too small and they've been enlarged. Okay? Now some, I'm going to go through these. These are great. On some of these, like this right here, you see how far away, there's like a lot of empty space here. So what I'm going to do is, I'm going to click off, so I'm only just going to click on this last one. And you can zoom in if you want to make it easier, but I clicked on this, see? And I'm going to go up to Effect Controls. Now, again, you want to find this tab called, once you click on this, click on Effect Controls, and notice Scale. And I can scale it from 100, and then also, here's the X value and the Y value. I can bring it up or down. It just kind of fills the frame better and makes it more exciting, and you're not too far away from the action, okay? So what you want to do is just look at a few of these, like right here. Here's one for cross country or track and field. And I'm going to click right here. And again, I'm going to work with my X and Y. And just something like that, just so you're closer to the action. Okay. I'll do this one too. Now this one, kind of fits. All right. And this one too, again, I'll do the same thing. Just to kind of come in like that. And I'll save it. Command S is your friend. So as you're working, just keep getting used to saving. So instead of having 3 minutes and 12 seconds, now it's like 1:36 or 40, which is much better. Okay? Because they only give us around 5 minutes for the news. So, I love Pics of the Week, and these are fantastic. But, I couldn't make it 3.5 seconds or 3.5 minutes. All right. So now excuse me. Now we have that, and here's the animated intro. Now let's go. I just wanted to show you. I'm going to go up to sequence. Make sure nothing's checked here. Just click away from everything. And then go up to sequence and go sequence settings and see how it's 1920 by 1080. And also it's 39, basically 30 seconds of 30 frames a second. Sorry, 29.97. Close, that's HD. You can also go up here. The one we will always use, and you don't have to do this because it's already set up now, but if you did, it would be AVCHD 1080p square pixel. AVCHD 1080p square pixel. Now again, you don't have to do that because it's already set up and it fits 1920 by 1080. But I'll just say okay. I just wanted to show you that. Now I'm going to bring in the music. So here's my music track wave. And it's an audio because of the icon here. So let me go down. Let's see. So here it is right here. Here's the icon here, and it's a .wav file. So I'm going to drag it at the bottom of the audio, below like an audio 2, but just so it's below everything. Okay? And these things usually start out pretty good. So I'm going to now look at this. This is a little hot. So what you want is not so much in the excuse me, in the red. You want a little bit of green, a little bit of maybe orange, but definitely not red. So to change this, Notice if I put my mouse at the bottom of this audio layer, my mouse turns into kind of something different here, if you look at it right here. And I can grab it and move it down, and this white line is the volume level for this audio. And again, it's running hot. It's running hot. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab it again with my selection tool here. That's the tool that you always pretty much use. And drag it down a little bit. And that's pretty good. You have the green, you have a little bit of yellow, just a little bit of orange, but no red. Okay, so I'm going to save it. Go Command S or Windows icon S on a black keyboard. And notice though that my audio is larger or longer and runs longer than my images. My images stop here and my audio runs all the way here. So what I'm going to do is, I'm going to, usually I do the ending. So let me give you, I'm going to import one more animated intro, which is the outro, actually. It says, thanks for watching. And I always include the music under that. So I didn't do that. So let me, again, Command S, and I'll go File, Import. And I'm going to include this in that zip file here. But for me, I'm going to go, I have it in here, just a second. Here's all the intros and outs. And here's the Westview outro, I call it. Okay. And I'm going to import it. And it's right there. And I'm going to, again, include it. Now, I don't want to see how the audio wants to go in my music there. I don't want that. So I can drag it to different layers and see what it does to the audio. You want something like that. I'm going to put it at the end here. Notice it kind of snaps. But make sure the audio is not in your music, because it will kind of replace it for that little part. But what I'm going to do here is, with my selection tool, I'm going to grab the ending and watch, it'll snap. See? And then to see it, I'm going to grab this bar a little bit. Okay. And again, here's my audio level. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a fade down. So I'm going to grab, instead of my selection tool that I always use, I'm going to grab the pen tool right here, the pen tool. And I'm going to click a couple dots to fade it down. I'm going to click at the end, and then I'm going to go in a little bit and click here, and I'm going to do a slow fade down to nothing on my music. So it'll be something like, okay, and then it goes just looping. But yeah, so let me go over here again and zoom in. And again, I use my pen tool to make two dots. The first dot starts the fade down, and the second dot ends it. Now you can grab it once they're there. You can grab it and mess around where they start or where they end. Okay? And that should do it. So keep saving. Go ahead and save. Now when you're all done, and again, I'll include the thanks for watching thing in the zip file also. I'll put it in right after I finish this video and then upload it. So you're all done. And I'm going to click, I'm going to grab my selection tool. I like to use a tool and then go right back to my selection tool, okay? But I like to click away if I'm going to export. That way nothing's highlighted. Because sometimes if something's highlighted, it will only export that part, which is not what you want. So I'm just going to click away and then kind of look to see if there's anything down here. Sometimes there is, sometimes there isn't. You have to clean it up or whatever. And then I'm going to go File, export media. File export media. Now here's the thing. It's called Pics of the Week because that's what the sequence was called. And I'm going to put it, what I like to do is click here and put it somewhere. Now this is under news completed, but what I'm going to do is I'll put it, in a folder and just have it in the news Halloween folder. And that's where it's going to go now. And it's going to be H.264, which is probably already set up. If it's not, you can go H.264 right here. And that makes it an MP4 file, which is great. And then once you're ready, just say export, and it'll make it. And so hopefully you'll be able to follow this and make a Pics of the Week segment. I will grab one of these and use one. So I showed you all the little ins and outs of it. So I'm going to shorten this video here. Just well, I guess because it's taking long to make it. So anyways, just let it go. And then wherever you put it, that's where it is, and that's where you're going to submit today. All right, thanks. I will cancel that.